Prose and poetry, the interpretation events. In prose and poetry you have a binder, and you open the binder up and you read from it. Poetry, you read poetry. Prose, you read a story of something. 7 minutes long. It's an incredibly popular event because you don't have to memorize it and you have to write it. You just get up and do it. On the flip side, it's incredibly hard to make finals because, like at our tournament, you got 60 or 70 people doing it and only 6 make finals. So that's it in a nutshell. Now, one of the big problems we have in prose and poetry is when should the kid be looking at the judge and when should they be reading? And the rules aren't very clear on this, and they kind of bother me. And so what I tell the kids is this. The binders they use will be much smaller. If it is a really heavy emotional part, then they should be looking at the judge to convey those emotions. If there's not a whole lot of emotion in it, then they should be reading it. So, you know, we went to the grocery store. There's not much emotion there. I read it. You know, the cat died. There's some emotion there. I should be looking at you. It'd be kind of weird if I said, we went to the grocery store and the cat died. Because all the emotions is going right into the binder. So that's a rule of thumb. It'll say, a lot of judges will say, well, you need to look up more. And the other judges will say, you need to look down more. And that's just really frustrating at that part. Another part of the rule is, you know, it shouldn't be memorized. Well, if a kid's been practicing a 7-minute long story for very long at all, it's going to be memorized. And so I think it's stupid to kind of dock the kid for that. They should be looking at the podium, or the binder some. But please don't make that an issue in which you're going to dock the kid. You know, this kid was better than this kid because this kid read more and this kid didn't. You know, even though this kid was fabulous and this kid was okay. It should not be that heavy of an issue when you judge. Now, furthermore, the rules say you need to kind of stand still, but they say you can have a transition step. And again, a lot of judges will nail a kid if they even make a step. The rule says you can double check the rules on the back, but I don't think that they've changed. Again, that should not be a real big issue. Don't make that a make it or break it. You know, this kid was mediocre and this kid was great, but this kid took a step and this kid didn't, so this kid wins. Yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. You might just make note of it. Hey, you know, try not to walk so much. So that kind of thing. They need to have different voices if they're different characters, and a lot of time proses will be like an HI except in a script and they're trying to do multiple voices. You need to be aware of that. They need to be crisp. You should always be able to tell who's talking. They need to have different focal points. So if character A is talking, they're looking there. If character B is talking, they're looking there. And character C is talking, they're looking down there. And they're very clear, and so you know just by where they're looking which character it is. Facial expressions. Responding to the emotions of it and not trying to overdo it. Okay? If they're just, you know, if it's an emotional poem and they're just weeping and wailing and carrying on, you're like, yeah, tone it down. Be more true to the emotions than that. So, anyway, that's prose and poetry. Hope you like it.